Hey everyone, I wanted to give you an update on the railing section here. So first off, I needed a spacer to go on this edge to flush it out with the hardwood underneath here, because my plan is I'm going to put a piece of trim wood on this side and then a piece of trim wood on top here to kind of cover up this gap in the hardwood here. And the hardwood appears to be 5/16 inch thick. So trying to find a modern equivalent is tough with the changes in lumber sizes, but I figured an 11/32 thick board should do the trick. So I used a pair of calipers to determine the thickness. I found some scraps of wood to flush it out and determine what that 5/16 number is. I checked with 11/16, that seemed like it was fine. And then I went to the big box stores looking for some plywood or any other piece of filler material that I could find that was either 5/16 or 11/32. And at Home Depot, the plywood that was listed as being 11/32 was actually 3/8. But at Lowe's, the plywood that was listed as 11/32 was actually 11/32. So I picked up a piece from Lowe's, and I kind of went through the store looking for other options to try to find anything else that I might be able to use as spacers, because it doesn't really need to be wood or anything special. It's literally just a spacer, but it does need to bear some weight on where these support posts are going. So again, I found some plywood. I cut some strips to fill in here. As you might have saw, there was a cutout here. I patched that up with a piece of scrap plywood that I found in the house. And there was this cutout here where it doesn't really matter. It wasn't going to be structural or anything. But when I put my filler piece over it, I realized there was going to be a big void there and dirt could have gotten into it. And I just didn't like leaving the hole open, so I just used some floor leveler. I mixed some up and poured it in there. And I had some extra, so I kind of just did some low spots. Again, just because it's all going to get covered up. No one's ever going to see it. It's not structural. But it was important to me that this flushed out with the hardwood, because when I put that trim piece on top, I want it to be absolutely level, so when the railing feet go down, it doesn't rock at all. And I was worried that if I have this filler piece too high, if the railing is offset slightly towards the edge here, it might rock. I'm sure I could have managed if it was a little high, but again, that's what I wanted to do. So we're in the progress of doing that. So this here is actually the old trim board that came out of this space, which I plan to reuse. This used to be that hollow box that used to be here. So my plan is I'm going to cut this down. It's about a 3.5 inch strip. So I'll have an extra piece of wood for other projects, but that will be my finish for here. And then I'm actually going to use the piece that was the prior top for that box as that finish piece. So we're reusing some of the old material, but I do need to cut this down. So I'm going to go run over to one of my other properties where I have a table saw, and I'm going to cut this down. So I'll be back. All right, so I'm back from cutting the board. this is what it looks like. And it's looking like I'm going to need a spacer behind it because there's a little trim board that goes on front here, but this is, when I push it up against the joist as far as I can, there's about 1/8 to 1/4 inch gap. And that needs to be pretty much flush. So I'm thinking some piece of 1/4 inch luan, some strips of that behind there will pad that out. And this is the offcut, but it's almost identical to the board that will eventually go here. But basically it'll look like that. And yeah, it should look really nice. And then the railing will go on top of that. So that's it for today's update, but I will be back when there's more to show off. Hey everyone, so we are back to working on the railing, and I think I have everything I need to finish up this project. So as I think I showed you before, I got some 11/32 plywood that flushes out to the floor. And in order to flush out this finished front with the wood here, I got a piece of luan, and let me stick this in here. We're nice and flush up against the front of this, so I can put my trim piece up. So we're going to nail all this in place, and we're going to use my new toy. Certainly hit something. Hold on, we got a nail jam. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take care of that. Give me a moment. All right, that was a pretty intense jam. it's working now. Yep. Now what? Oh, it jammed again. That's annoying. It still fires when there's no nails. Oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Hold on. I'm doing something wrong. There's actually a little slot for the top of the nails. Let's see. And it jammed again. Well, I'm not impressed so far here with this new nail gun. But that's all in place. And that can be nailed in place when I'm ready to put the top on. I'm not going to do it just yet because I want to make sure that this flushes out with the top piece when the time comes to install it, and then the trim will cover the rest. So I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone.